It's day 208.
Of the 29th year and beyond.
Well, one of the things that Gail and I constantly talk about is how important it is, how imperative it is to have good communication.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've addressed that, and the reality is, what we've learned is when you cease to communicate, that truly is the beginning of the end. Because we've addressed if you're not talking, if you're not communicating, then you just kind of retreat and you're left with whatever narrative you begin to tell yourself.
In your own head.
Absolutely. And so you can wind up going off on some tangent that has nothing to do with the reality of the situation simply because you're not communicating. And I was reminded of a song that I really liked. This was released back in 1977.
I wasn't born yet.
Sure you were.
No, I wasn't.
And it's the Emotions, Don't Ask My Neighbor. Yeah.
Come to me.
That's right. The song, I think, has a lot of wisdom to it. She starts out by saying, you're wondering if I care about you. Is there some cause that I should doubt you? And she says, oh, I can see, boy, that you don't know me very well. You're so unsure. Then she says, and you run here and there to ask my feelings. Friends only guess. They can't say really. Don't ask my neighbors. Never ask the friends I hang around. Don't be afraid. Come to me. And that's what's really important. When you begin to wonder about things with your spouse and your relationship, and you don't address it, then you're setting yourself up for potential to get misinformation and to go down a path that's unnecessary.
Oh, yeah. You can't go ask anybody else. You just can't. Not even your sister, your mother, his sister, his mother. I mean, other than what's his favorite food or something like that, there really isn't anything that I would ask them that I can ask him first. And I need to ask him first.
And that's the thing, in the song, I find it interesting. She says, don't be afraid to come to me. And that's the thing. What would you be afraid of that you couldn't talk to this person that you have vowed to share your life with? You can run and talk to a neighbor, talk to their friends and whatnot, but you need to get what you need from the source. And that's the only way you're going to get the best possible, most accurate response is by communicating directly. I just think about that. Never ask the friends I hang around.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just powerful because too many times, I think, particularly if it's something maybe challenging, or if you're the type of person that you don't like confrontation, right? Because there's a lot of non-confrontational people. And the word confrontation, I think for a lot of people may have a negative connotation, but it's not a negative thing in and of itself, right? There are opportunities where we have to confront one another. But be willing to go to the source. Because when you begin to share intimate details about your relationship with your friends and family, now you're inviting other people into your relationship. And that's never a good thing.
Don't ask your neighbor.
Don't ask your neighbor. Don't ask my neighbor. Never ask the friends I hang around.
No, that's wisdom to grow on, wisdom to live by, because they will always tell you the wrong thing, and then you're really confused. Yeah,
I wouldn't say they will always tell you the wrong thing. However, everybody doesn't have pure motives.
No, they don't.
And sometimes you're telling things and sharing intimate details with a person who will take that information and try to align themselves up in such a way to get what you obviously don't appreciate having.
Well, I think when she says, because I was thinking about the part when she says, don't be afraid to come to me. And I get that on one level, because there was a period of time in our relationship where, there was things that I just would not say to you. I wouldn't come and ask you or tell you or whatever. and those were, but the insecurities were inside of me. You know, and so if you feel like you can't speak to that, that's what it is. It's insecurity. So yeah.
So until
actually-
tomorrow, if the Lord says the same, talk to one another, not others.
Bye.